All right, Mr. Steve Broyles in the house, first across the line tonight. Hey, man, this is Chris with Cyclesource Magazine. I am going to be your engineer tonight for the first installment back with Torque Performance Television. Great to see all you guys here tonight. It's been a little hiatus since we've been on this show, but never fear. We're back at full strength. Mr. Brian Klock, Mr. John O'Brien, warming up those motors right now to take you through the next 90 to 120 minutes. All the performance two-wheel wonder that you can handle. Get ready. Thursdays, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. It's time for Torque. Stick around. We're going live with this one in just 3.5 minutes. Torque Performance TV. Hit the like and share so your friends and neighbors know we're going live. David Crum in the house. How you doing? Hey, if you're out there watching, throw up your name, where you're from, so we can give you a little shout out. You can participate in this program. This is not a watch only deal. Get involved. We want to know what you're thinking. Stick around. So see, this is what happens after you take a long break. You forget to do stuff like loop the sound in the intro, and I'm sure there's going to be a little rusty moment here and there tonight, but man, we're excited to be back with this. Great to have you guys here. If you want to follow along with everything that Torque is doing, you can hit us up through our Facebook, through the Instagram, the YouTube page, or like I said, every Thursday, just have your ass in that chair and get ready for a whole episode of Torque Performance TV. It's going to be awesome. A little bit of tech, a little bit of products, some feature bikes, good talk. Torque Performance going live in 2 minutes. Steve Broyles, I know you're still working. That's one of the only men that works harder than I do. Of course, right now, it's my fault he's working hard because he's got my panhead motor torn apart, and he found every bolt hole on the right side cases for shit. Bad news for me, but hey, that's the kind of problem to have, right? That something on my 49 panhead chopper project needs fixed. 1.5 minutes and we're going live with this one. First show back in quite a while for Torque Performance, and we're glad to be here. Oh man, I guess we should actually get this one started up. Only about a minute out. Big D checking in from Marengo, Illinois tonight. Good to see you here, buddy. 39 seconds. I think that's kind of close enough. I'm itching to pull the trigger, so let's get this one out of the garage and up onto the road. It's time for an episode of Torque Performance. Here we go. That's you, Mr. Klock.
We're live right now. It's legit.
We're live.
We're back.
This is it.
Welcome to Torque. I'm so excited. I'm not kidding you. I am so nervous and like I went to school for radio and TV, and it's been 25 plus years since I've done this. And all everybody's doing is looking at me going, right now, that guy's ugly. I just want to read that magazine thing. Let's see, over there, that one.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
Maybe. Yeah, I know. Maybe it's this one. I don't know. Anyway, all good. We're back. Torque is back. And I'm here, and I'd like to bring in my co-host, John O'Brien from Hardcore Cycles. John, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. A little nervous to be back too. We're going to be a little rusty tonight.
It's okay. There's no, you're not even going to see rust if you're in South Dakota. There's more than 3 inches of snow has fallen in the last hour on my truck, and it is beautiful. It's postcard, picture perfect, Christmas snow. Unbelievable. It's so nice because it reminds me, you got to get inside and work on your bike, make it go faster. And we got Go Fast tonight. I mean, we got some really cool.
We got everything covered. How you got a winter project underway?
I do. I'm part of that Chopper Friends Throwdown, and here we go again.
There you go.
It's going to be one of those great things. And hi Mailman, hi Cheryl, hi Steve Broyles. We love you guys. And they're all in warmer weather than us right now. Yeah. We're excited about it. You and Jason brought this thing so far, and there was a little break in the action, and we're excited to be back. And I just want to talk things that go fast. I love it. I love everything performance. I don't care if you're riding a performance antique bike, if you're riding a performance bagger, you're riding a performance chopper, you're riding a performance FXR or Sportster. Yeah, I'm into it. Yeah. If it's got good brakes and goes even faster, I'm all about it.
Yeah, suspension, performance, everything. So we got a 2019 Road King that we're doing up for Daytona. Carbon fiber, everything. Going to be doing 124 Revolutions, doing the cases in the lower end balance, and the whole 9 yards. HPI, big drop there. HPI throttle body, big shocker. Mids, the whole 9 yards. So
right on.
Kraus inverted front end. We're going to be talking about Kraus a little bit tonight. Going to be talking about HPI tonight. So, but we're getting there. Right now, if you go back now, it's just a frame and a transmission sitting there. Everything else is.
Well, my stuff's even more weird and more diverse than that, probably. We've got two fat tire Indians. One's a Chieftain. One's a limited edition Jack Daniel's Springfield. The guy's going to let me cut apart his limited edition bike.
The ones that sold in 30 minutes nationwide?
Less than that. Less than that. This one took less than 5 minutes, and he's going to let me cut it apart. And so I'm excited about that. I've got a Victory Vision, that has a cross-country back on it, and it's kind of the bike that Ness used to build, and we're using a fat tire that Corey found me from their Vision stuff, so that'll have a bunch of low shoulder muscle. It's a 114. It's going to be a cool bike. And then another thing that we're doing is we got a couple FXRs in here. We're working on a Lowrider S. We're working on a Road King. We're working on two skinny tire bagger build-off bikes for your show. Right?
March 5th.
In Daytona. So skinny tires are where it's at, guys. Go ahead and go. I got a 2000 FLH and a 2004 Road Glide. You can buy these bikes cheap. We're going to show you how to do them on a budget. We're super jacked.
Well, with everything, speaking of budget, with everything going on price-wise, some people were, I don't want to say bitching, but for lack of a better term, they were bitching about the $15,000 cap that includes the bike for the skinny tire. So what ended up happening was I put a poll out there. We keep it at 15, kick it up to 20, or go to no limit. Surprisingly, the votes for the 15G won. So we're keeping it at 15 grand, including the cost of the bike.
Yeah, and so I think that's totally fair. And I think at the end of the day, it's you got to get with your friends, you got to get with your buddies. You got to maybe trade a case for this, for a case for that. Yeah. Swap out some stuff, work a little harder.
Yep.
You're the plumber, he's the painter. He needs plumbing, you need paint. Come on, get together, figure it out, barter.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of bartering, don't we got some news out there? What's in the news? Where's our man Chris Callan with all things motorcycle? I just want to jump in. I can't wait to talk to Jimmy Light. Right after we have the news, we're going to talk to Jimmy Light. Come on, Chris.
What's up, guys? John and Brian, thanks for having me here tonight. I'm Chris Callan with Cycle Source Magazine, and I'm lucky enough to do the Torque Quick 60. Hey, not a lot going on around the motorcycle world this week, but the pieces that we could cobbled together are right here in front of us. This in from Cycle Source Magazine's news blog. Tucker Inc.'s deal to become exclusive U.S. distributor for Dainese riding gear. Tucker Powersports today announced a new exclusive agreement to distribute the legendary Dainese motorcycle product line to its network of powersports dealers in the United States. The multi-year agreement includes leather and textile riding gear, boots, shoes, and Dainese line of protective armor and airbag D-Air jackets and vests. Dainese products will be available through Tucker later this year. You know, immediately this makes me think back to anybody that's been to the expos throughout the wintertime. Every time they would put one of those demonstrations on where the airbag jackets and airbag vests, that was the most popular thing that happened the entire weekend of every expo I've been to. And you just see
everybody
people...
waits for it to backfire. They're just waiting for that guy to get his gut squeezed out. Poof, oh, we turned it around the wrong way. Sorry about that, dude. That hurts, doesn't it?
Oh,
that's going to leave a mark.
Have any of those successfully hit the market? I mean, I always...
yeah. That's a thing. It works. And you know, what I'm thinking about this Dynasty thing is that I saw a Dynasty store the first time I went to visit my cousin in California, and I was blown away. I'm like, that whole store is dedicated to leather. Like, that's high-end Italian stuff.
Right.
And so, you know, congratulations to Tucker. Good on them for owning it. I mean, and they do off-road too, so that's going to be great for them, you know, to be able to, there's a lot of diversity there, whether you're a sport bike rider, you know, off-road rider, or, you know, just an on-road guy. They've got good product.
Hey, so this was something that came in quick and actually spawned us to get a guest in the coming weeks here. Great things coming on the MJK Performance website. Kraus Motor Company has acquired MJK Performance. Kraus Motor Company, the leader in the performance upgrades for Harley-Davidson and Indian motorcycles, has acquired MJK Performance. Kraus is producing the MJK product line from their 20,000 square foot manufacturing fulfillment facility in Utah. Customers should expect enhanced designs, quality, and superior workmanship with upgraded inventory management and customer service. So in response to this, we quickly made arrangements to get Satya Kraus on next week, right? Next week?
Yeah, for sure. He's going to be our next guest. We're super excited about that. And, you know, I'll be honest, I've been to Satya's facility. It's fantastic. Super clean, very high end, exactly what you expect from an MJK product. Now, you know, there's been a lot of controversy around MJK too. So we're going to dive deep into that, but you got to come back next week. You want to see some comments? You got some questions about that process? Put them in the comments below, because we'll ask them. Satya's a good guy. He's a straight shooter. He's going to tell us what's happening, what's not happening. And I haven't been at Bonneville with him even way back in the day. He knows performance, so he fits into Torque. No doubt about it.
And like the last part of that press release too, where they said, you know, enhanced customer service and fulfillment. I mean, you know, that's definitely going to be a welcome part of that, because I think we can all agree that the MJK, the quality of the products and what they were building on, you know, that was solid. I think having a company like Kraus start to take over and, you know, and more effectively management, fulfillment and manufacturing is just going to be good for it.
And probably some customer service.
Yeah.
Like social networking, you know what I mean? As far as like you can't tag MJK in a post on Instagram.
Yeah.
Which, you know what I mean? Like look at Klockworks, look at Legends, look at Saddlemen. Like those brands.
You can not only tag me, but you probably already have my cell number. Just call me in the middle of the night if you're mad. I don't even care.
You know what I mean?
I'm not hiding behind any badge.
No, I mean for positive marketing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree. And I think in this case, yeah, let's talk about it. Let's face the facts. I mean, MJK has great products, and the quality of it's always been good. Satya has great products. Kraus makes great stuff. And the bottom line is, you know, it's a fit for him. He's not the cheapest brand. Kraus has never been known as the low end of it. You want the best, you go to Kraus Moto.
Yeah.
Fine. You want MJK, that costs a lot of money.
Yes.
And I think Satya's the guy. I think he can own it. I think him and his wife will do a fantastic job of running the company. And, you know, he's got a really tight-knit crew there in Utah, and I'm looking for good things to come out of this.
We sell a ton of Kraus, and we've never had an issue. You know what I mean? Any issue, you know what I mean? As far as like like we order in bulk, obviously, to stock some stuff here and most stuff here. Splitting the shipment up to get certain stuff faster. They've always worked with us. I sold MJK, like it just wasn't fluid. You know what I mean? His stuff, like the Road King we did 2 winters ago, had a load of his stuff on it, and everything went smooth, but just the communication and the fulfillment, it was just slacking. That's all.
Okay, that's enough. No more. Next week. Go down to the comments. Tell us what you want to hear. That's it. That's all you're getting. See you next week.
Okay, this next story comes in from Team BHP. Royal Enfield starts assembling its motorcycles in Brazil. We talked about a lot of this stuff on Shop Talk last week. The fact that, the motorcycle industry at large internationally has become a lot like the sport of football, that in the off season, man, like the changing of people from one company to another, where companies are manufacturing, all that stuff that goes on. So Royal Enfield has commenced CKD operations at its new assembly facility in Brazil. New assembly unit located in Manaus, Brazil, has a capacity of 15,000 bikes per year. It is Royal Enfield's 4th assembly unit outside of India. The brand also has facilities in Thailand, Colombia, and Argentina. This I have said this for quite a while, that Royal Enfield, especially with like their GT models, really started putting out some solid products. I'm not a super big fan of the latest release that they had, but I believe this is a company to watch.
Yeah, and I mean they're filling niches. I mean, and that's the thing that people don't pay attention to. It's like, oh, it's just a niche. Well, guess what? Starbucks was just a niche.
Right.
Coca-Cola was just a niche.
Yeah.
Somebody needed a little something. Okay, well, here it is, and all of a sudden, bam, 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 and they do it again and again and again. I mean, who thought Subway was going to be something, really? Come on. And all of a sudden, you put it in a little gas station here, and now there's 40,000 of them all over everywhere you look, right?
And being from Philly, they're horrible sandwiches.
You're not even allowed to comment on sandwiches. Come on now. Man. What beats a Philly cheesesteak?
Nothing.
Hey,
nothing.
One more.
We got the best rolls.
One more story, and I'm going to cut you guys loose for tonight. And the winners are Cycle Source Magazine's Best of Year in Review issue and the Source Awards. The issue is hitting the newsstands now, but you can check out who won the Source Awards by going on the Cycle Source Magazine website, cyclesource.com. See who got Best Man,
I was just going to say,
Woman.
You link some of this because I saw that Ed Kerr was the Man of the Year. Did I see that somewhere?
Yeah, we actually started putting these out 2 weeks ago, one at a time on Shop Talk, and we started putting them out on social media because, let's face it. I mean, I want to sell magazines. That's what we do, but I'm also in the game of media, and I want people, the whole reason we do the Year in Review issue is to give people an opportunity to get kudos for the extra work that they do in a year. You know what I mean? And like, I couldn't have been happier for Ed Kerr to get Man of the Year for the work that he's done over the last 2 years with Meals on Wheels, helping us establish that charitable component of the smoke out this year. And like, I just thought it was a great piece. So we did leak that out quick.
Well, and Ed's always the behind the scenes guy. That's why I'm like, how did you even get him to come up to the front? Did he even know you let people vote on him? He probably said, "No, I don't want that.
Oh,
I'm not into that."
He said that. He said that immediately. He was like, "Oh, there's other people," and I'm like, "Yeah, man." I said, "Listen, but it's a nomination. It's a nice nod for you." And then when the vote came in, and the vote was, I say this, but you have to understand. We ask for nominations. Everybody puts the nominations in, and then we put it out there for everybody that's a follower or a reader of Cycle Source Magazine, and it's a vote of the people. So we have nothing to do with any of the vote part, and it was a really, really cool thing to see that he got that.
No, for sure. He's a great guy, and one of the original Hamsters, for those of you who know what the Hamsters is, it's a group of custom motorcycle builders, but Ed's an OG. He's one of the guys that started it. And been around motorcycles for more than 40 plus years. And for him to, be in this modern era. I mean, does Ed even have Instagram? I'll bet he doesn't have Instagram.
You know what? I don't know, man. I don't know, but it was, I made sure that I took Kiefer a whole stack of magazines and said, here.
You up just for even letting people vote on him.
Yeah, no.
He's coming for you. Watch out. I'm telling you.
All right. Hey, man, I hope you guys appreciate this. With all things considered, maybe I'll be back next week if the guys will have me with more from the Torque Quick 60.
Hey guys, we're back. We need to take a look at one of the product spotlights before we get to Jimmy Light, and I cannot wait to talk to Jimmy. Okay, so tell me about this, John. You had the product. You covered it. Let's do this.
It's a Saddlemen Seat. We do a lot of the performance bikes right now running the Saddlemens. They got the lumbar that locks you in. You know what I mean? It's just a solid product for as far as performance. It looks good. It feels good. You know, I mean,
So did you get
in the bike?
What locks you in? Wait, locks you in. We get a picture of you stunting?
No. Did I'm a horrible stunner. I'm not going to bullshit anybody on that one.
All right. I hear you.
So, want to start the clip? Hey, it's John with Hardcore Cycles for Torque Performance Television. What we have here today is a Saddlemen Step Up SDC seat. Probably asking yourself, how does a seat make a bike performance? So you have more contact with your seat than any other part of the bike. Not the grips, not the handlebars, not the foot pegs. First thing, you never want to open these with a knife. The reason being, you're not opening a gas tank, you're not opening up a set of foot pegs. You're opening up a fabric seat. We do a ton of custom seats, meaning custom colors, custom stitch. What we have here is this is a custom Saddlemen SDC collaboration seat. Rider's backrest slides right on there. It's the extreme grip fabric, extreme grip on this lumbar section here as well. Removable tab. You slide that in. This is adjustable for height, for comfort. Very steep lumbar support. As you accelerate, decelerate, front tire comes up. This holds you, this locks you pretty much in place where you want to go. Most of the seats fit multiple years. We can do any color, any fabric. San Diego Customs came out with this design with the rider's backrest. And for all the dudes on Dynas, FXRs, the performance baggers, they're loving them. Passenger area is not, it's comfortable. I mean, I don't sit on the passenger area ever, but I mean, it's comfortable, but it's not really designed for long hauls. Once again, John, Hardcore Cycles, Torque Performance Television, Saddlemen, San Diego Custom Collaboration Seat, pretty much badass. Carbon fiber, extreme grip, custom stitch. Any questions, just hit our website. Thanks for watching.
Hey, what's up, man? It's Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, and I'm here. I'm at the Dennis Kirk warehouse. Over 160,000 items in this room. You guys hear me say it all the time. Last minute in the garage, waiting to get that part you need. This is where it comes from. Check them out today, DennisKirk.com.
Whether riding takes you from A to B or just lets you escape, there's a flow to the road you share. So go with it. Eyes open, and always have the Law Tigers by your side. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, visit us at lawtigers.com. Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
Hey guys, welcome back to the SHINE WERKS studio. And now do we get to do this? Now we get to go, John? Can we go?
I think it's time. But before we go there, I got to say, between your shirt and your commercial, you're making me look bad this week. You know what I mean? You got
This is easy. I just go out in the showroom here and grab a clean one.
Pile,
My
right?
wife will bill it to me later.
With our shirts, I do the same, and then like so my wife goes to do the laundry, and I got like 4 of the same ones. Then I get yelled at.
Yeah, this is the new Dixon flannel. You know, free plug for Clockworks. Go ahead and get yourself one and be ready for the holidays. We picked the colors right. Anything with red, white, and black, I'm in.
Yeah, it looks good.
But now let's do this.
Yeah,
I
let's
can't.
do it. Yeah,
let's talk to Jimmy Light. Come on, Chris, hit the button. Bring in Jimmy. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Jimmy Light from Horsepower Inc.
What's
Jimmy,
up?
can you hear me? All right,
Yep.
Perfect. That's all you're going to get Jimmy to say all night. What's up? That's it. No, when they said, okay, Brian, we're bringing back torque, all I think of when I think of performance is Horsepower Inc. And they said, who do you want your first guest to be? And I'm so thankful you said yes, Jimmy, because I know you don't do a lot of interviews. You don't do a lot of these things. And yet I think you're one of the most interesting people in the whole motorcycle industry currently. And I am just thankful you're here. So thanks for being on tonight. Oops.
Yeah, I didn't. When you asked, I wanted to say no, but yeah,
I appreciate it. And earlier when we talked to you and we just were, checking the sound and making sure everything was good, you had a little blue gremlin in the back there. Is he going to make an appearance? I just want to know.
Well, I think he's downstairs. I'm pretty sure he should be going to bed right about now, but you never know.
Perfect. So I think that's a big deal because, when we were first talking about this, your son was in the picture there and he said, I'm going to jump in, Dad. And you're like, no, you're not. And everybody's joking around and, but you really are a family business. And if I got this correct, if I remember right, you got to be celebrating something like 20, 21, 22. How many years officially are we doing this fuel injection thing?
This is 20 years.
Wow. It is 20 years. Okay.
Yep.
So what I remember about this was like 1997, 99. Didn't hardly have Magneti Morelli and not the best fuel injection ever, right?
They were horrible.
Yeah, no, those were pretty rough. Yeah.
Okay. And so then all of a sudden things kind of turn and they go to Delphi. What made you jump in the water? What were you thinking?
That was one of my questions.
We, my family owns a machine shop they have for a long time. My mom and at the time my uncle were making parts for lots of things. They did some motorcycle manufacturing stuff for different places like Mid USA. They had some involvement in those Powerhouse 114 engines back in the day and manufactured transmission cases and stuff like that. And my uncle bought 02 Jade Green Night Train, and it was just slow. And no one was really making any fuel injection components for it. And they were, kind of everybody was like, hey, maybe there's something there. We just bored a stock throttle body out. It made a little bit more horsepower. And then my mom entered this business contest and won 25 grand. And she said she was going to buy castings with it, is what she did. And she actually won it. Everybody thought she was nuts. And she won it and then used that money to make the first casting. We made our own throttle body and we took it to the V-Twin trade show in Cincinnati and had it there. And everybody kind of went crazy about it. And it started from there. It kind of just took off.
Wow.
Okay, so before we get into the details of all things fuel injection, your uncle buys this Jade Green motorcycle, and you right away think you got to go fast with it, right? And
yeah, of course.
What made you think that? Because your family has a history of speed. So tell me a little bit about your background. Tell me a little bit about, I've seen pictures of you with sprint cars and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we're kind of all just motorheads. That's it, really. when we first started doing the throttle body stuff, I was about 18 years old, and it was I just liked working on the engines. That was what I did. We kind of just dove into it, and at the end of the day, I tell people all the time, I'm just a motorhead. That's it. I just like things that go fast, make loud noises. I've raced
but
my entire life.
yeah, but you're 18 years old, and your mom wins $25,000 and decides to launch this business based on an idea you have about your uncle's bike being slow?
No, I mean, it was everybody together. There was, my mom and Eric, and my uncle, and everybody in the shop kind of just knew that there was something there. No one was really doing this, and it was new, and the motorcycle industry was pretty scared of fuel injection. I mean, shit, some people still are. And everybody kind of just got together and, started making chips. Really, that was it.
Jimmy, was that your first experience with motorcycles, or did you have?
Yeah, I wasn't much of a motorcycle guy. I was more of a race car kid. I raced go-karts as a kid. My cousin did, and I didn't really give a shit about motorcycles at all. But that was back in.
When you got in the bikes, was it straight in the Harleys, or did because of your race background, did you hit some of the crotch rockets first?
No, it was straight Harleys. Okay. But that was back in the day of the chopper craze, right? Your West Coast Choppers TV shows and
true.
Indian Larry biker build offs,
so all that shit was right there.
Into that, that was a big influence just because it looked like it was, the shit was hot, right?
Yeah.
So that I just, sport bikes were never really, no.
Okay, so before we pick your mechanical brain, I'm sticking with the family function side of this deal, right? Because that was one of the things that blew me away. I went to Born Free this year for the first time to be an exhibitor, and I was in the cool kids corner over there with the guys from San Diego Customs. We just previewed their seat, and no one battles with you more than the boys from San Diego Customs. Is that true?
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it can be on the Instagram, it could be in live person. It doesn't matter. You guys are talking smack to each other all the time.
Yeah, he already just texted me while we're on here and said that I was slow.
He who? Call him out. Tell me who it is.
It's all false. He just likes to talk shit. He can't back it up. I've tried to race him. He won't race. So.
You guys never raced?
Yeah, and I hope he's watching this. No, he won't race me. I've tried. He won't do it. Won't do it.
So yeah, Chip from San Diego Customs comes up to me, and I said, Jimmy is such a nice guy. I've never really got to hang out with him in person. He is just the best guy. And he's like, oh, that's nothing. You should meet his mom. And you mentioned your mom 2 or 3 times already, Jimmy. And motorcycle guys, especially, go fast dudes, don't always talk about their mom. Tell me a little bit about your mom, because, Chip literally has way more respect for your mom than he does you.
Yeah, well, like I said, she started the thing, and it's still in the manufacturing side of it. We're all just it's all big family here. I mean, my wife Laura, she runs the show here in Indy. She pretty much just is in charge, and I screw everything up and then have to be reprimanded, like everyone else in the shop. And I'm sure she's listening to this, but that's pretty much the truth. And everyone that's been here a while, we're all, it's a big family operation. We have a lot of family members that work in both locations in Erie and in Indianapolis. My mom is a big part of it. She's, it was her deal. And a while ago, she kind of let us me and Laura take off with where we thought it should go. And she kind of concentrated on the manufacturing side of it, which kind of needed to be done because it was getting too big, and like I said, we're a lot of family members, just people like to go fast. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. So the throttle bodies, right? You're first making them, and most people were scared of fuel injection in general. You jumped into the throttle body game, and other people were trying to do it, right? They were doing their best to try to do it. And I can't even remember some of the brands that were around there. And of course, you're probably too much of a gentleman to name them, but they're gone, right? They all disappeared.
Yep, pretty much, yeah. All the people that had gone into it at the beginning are gone.
Well, and when I was doing it, I mean, I was working on that first, the world's fastest bagger, the bike we raced at Bonneville, 124, fuel injected. I'm talking to the guys at S&S, and we've got B2 heads on it, all this stuff. And all anybody's telling me is you got to use HPI. You got to use HPI. That's all you ever hear. And you were still pretty new, and you had already gotten the attention of some of the biggest manufacturers and some of the biggest performance brands you can think of to be the go-to place for fuel injection.
Right out of the gate.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really, you got to think about it. We weren't really fuel injection people. We were a machine shop. And everybody here that knows something about the product was kind of self-taught. I mean, Eric, that pretty much runs the show on the manufacturing side and has for 20 years. When we got into this, he was self-taught. He self-taught everything he knows about it, tuning wise, and all the drag bike stuff he does. We don't really ask questions. We kind of just do the work, So it started as just, we're a machine shop that tried to make the nicest, best, quality product there was. We weren't really paying attention to anything or anyone in the industry. We kind of were just trying to make sure that it was the baddest piece that we could make, that we knew how to make, really.
And I think that says it all, right? You put your blinders on and you went, okay, I don't care how they're doing it. I don't care how these guys are doing it. And they all fell by the wayside, and you just kept knocking it out of the park. And now you are the quintessential king of fuel injection, even if Chip at San Diego Customs doesn't believe so.
Yeah, Chip knows that deep down. He knows that. He knows. He's
I love it. And so I think the biggest thing about that, and for what our listeners need to know, is if you are unsure of fuel injection, or you don't know the products, you don't know what's going on. I mean, your website is a source of knowledge. I mean, there are PDFs there are downloads, there are videos. You're doing a lot to try to help educate everybody. And I don't think you're hiding it. You're not dodging like, I'm the cool kid, I got all the super secret horsepower things. You're laying it out there. I mean, saying, here it is. We're not scared. Come on.
No, we try to give as much information as we can. Laura does the website, and does a really good job with that. I mean, there could always be more information, but that's an endless deal. We try to put as much out there as we can without giving too much information. You kind of got to be a little bit broad sometimes, that in this deal, if people don't figure some of it out themselves, it can be a little bit too much communication. But we put the most things we can on there to get the point across. I think it's we try to stay on top of that, and make it as user friendly as possible, so you don't get overwhelmed on the info.
No, I agree. I think it's 100%. It's amazing. I mean, because I've been, I've talked to you in Daytona or Sturgis at different events, and I'll see you and I'll be there asking some generic questions, and then all of a sudden, like Ryan, the technician who works for us, he caught you at the drag dealer ride out in Phoenix, and then he's got a million questions, right? He's like, I'm going to put a Pro Charger on my bike. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And next thing you know, you guys dive in the weeds, and I'm lost because I'm not as smart as you. No, there's no two ways about it. Either one of you guys, you blew me away. And so it's fun. It's fun for me, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm just honored to listen. And what I thought was nice that night was you came and you sat down at our table, and we were sitting with the guys from Vance and Hines. And I mean, there was no question. Everybody just listened to the conversation because they just wanted to chat.
Did you guys see the comment from Chip?
No,
I'm sure it's a good one.
Jimmy is one of my closest friends, even if he is a slowpoke.
Oh my!
He's like,
he just won't quit,
comments, man. He's consistent.
Jimmy, he never varies from that.
What year? Yeah, that's what I was just about to. What year did you start? Randall Williams, also known as Cheese, just posted a question here, and I was just about to ask it. who came up with the pipe design for HBI? My question was, at what point did you know you wanted to get a new exhaust, and how was the first step with that?
Well, there was I thought that we just make throttle bodies and fuel injection components, and I wanted a stainless exhaust made for my dyno, and I had one made, and it was good, but it could be better. And I searched around trying to find a better option for it, and there wasn't anything. We couldn't get to it. And Chip, who I got to say, we wouldn't be in the position we are in this industry without Chip, 100%. He is one of my best friends, and he's aligned us with things throughout the years to make us, pretty popular, right? And he was one of the people that pushed me to do this exhaust. He's like, didn't just make one. And I told him that we had the capabilities of doing this. And he pushed me for a while. It took probably 6 months, and we made him. The first exhaust we made was a custom one for his Born Free build. I think I want to say 16 maybe.
Wow.
It's pretty close to that. And then it kind of just took off from there. After we made that, we came back, and it was kind of, we had to make a decision whether we wanted to make these or not make these, really. It kind of it wasn't at first. We didn't really think we were just going to make a few of them and be like, hey, these are cool. We were just make dyno pipes. That was it. And Billy, who is the main fab guy at the shop, we raced sprint cars together for a long time. And we're really good friends. And that's what he did, was build performance exhausts. And so we started making them in my garage, in my house. And we did that for about, 6-8 months. And then when me and Billy would spend 5-6 hours after work out there, and the pulsar board and the welder was making Laura's stove make noises and shit, we realized that we either had to get serious, So we, me and Billy had a conversation. We were like, are we going to do this or not do this? Because at this point, we either need to do it or just stop.
Do not, yeah.
And Billy went to work that day and quit his job and called me and said, hey, I'm coming to the shop.
I'm coming back.
And that was,
Jimmy,
that was it.
Jimmy, I know we go to your website for fast bikes, but you gave us a website for slow bikes. We're gonna load that real quick for you.
Oh yeah, there they are.
Nice. You guys just fueling the fire, putting gasoline on it. Chip, I had nothing to do with that. I don't even want any part of this jousting. So no, seriously, Jimmy, with the pipe thing, you guys were on the gas with that right away. And from the minute you were making them in the garage and ruin your wife's kitchen appliances and the supper and everything else, you were backlogged, correct?
Yeah. Oh yeah. From the get go. I mean, we're trying to make, our exhaust is a precision piece. It is a race style exhaust. That's it. And we're trying to make something that technically not a production piece, right?
Yeah.
We're doing good at it, better than I thought we would. But from the get-go, it just turned into it was a backlog, and we weren't really ready for that to start with. We've got a good system going now. We're just trying to dig ourselves out of a hole that we created ourselves, really.
Right. But I mean, even going into 2020 and the COVID craze, right? Everybody's home building bikes, and everybody in the entire nation wanted an HPI exhaust. If you had a dealer who bought 4 of them, he could probably charge whatever he wanted because that's how they could get them, right?
They still do.
It was crazy. I mean, it's still the same way, John.
It's still the same way. Yesterday I spent 30 minutes on it was a Facebook group. I think it was Performance Bagger, where they were talking about lead times for different products. And of course they got on the HPI exhaust, and the fucking comments, I went down like the rabbit hole, because some people, they get it, and I sell them, and I've never had a customer get one and not say, fuck it, it was worth the wait. It's worth it. You know what I mean? But dude, yesterday, like I said, I spent like a half hour just reading the comments about the wait times and just people being babies, typical internet shit. But it entertained me, and some of it had to do with the HPI pipe. But it's one of those things that's it's worth the wait.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
it's ridiculously time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and
But-
I got to tell you, if you guys are not being active in the comments on the sidebar here, just go ahead. Chip is just lighting
Chip's
it on
on
fire.
fire, yeah.
Chip is on his keyboard and killing the Warriors. So,
Jimmy,
luck.
he just let everybody know your address is the gay bar in Indy.
Really? Well, he's the one that found the place, so blame it on him.
yeah, nice. Well, so there's a look at the exhaust we're talking about. I mean, those things are just beautiful in and of themselves, and the performance is so incredible. And yet you can't keep up because they fit. They come with the proper hardware. Nobody's going shopping for something. They can't find something. They're not frustrated because it doesn't fit perfectly on their bike. I mean, you really pride yourself on putting out the best product, period.
The fit, the finish, I mean, it's there. That's it.
That's it. That's
And
that's all we got.
But I think it's a pretty cool deal when you can put out a pipe that people can, potentially polish the stainless if they want to, but it's not chrome, it's not Cerakoted, it's not, black powder coated or some other kind of heat treatment. You're bringing it to them raw, and you're, again, I think, just showing your cards and saying, here, this is the best we can do. It's the best pipe we got.
Yeah, we don't. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Finish with the exhaust.
I don't think it. At first, I didn't think that style exhaust would be that popular, but it happened at the right exact time when everybody started doing performance work, and we're not just like our throttle bodies. We don't. We make everything in house, and I don't think a lot of people know this, but from the idea to the finished product is mostly all done in house. When either I or somebody or Eric or whoever has an idea, it's usually me and Eric. We talk about something, figure it out, have an idea. When Eric gets going on that, we design it in house. We prototype it in house, and we also make our own molds. Wow. We and then we send them to the casting company to be done. And that way, from the throttle bodies and the exhaust, from the concept of it to the finished product, we try to keep almost every aspect of it in the house. I don't know how smart that is, but it's the way we do it.
No, I think it's great the way you do it. And I think that's how you can talk to people on their level about what's happening. You bring the knowledge to them at whatever level they're at. And I think you sharing that knowledge is huge. On those pipes, it's obviously got a step up in it, correct?
Yeah.
And it's got a sound that, I mean, how did you come on the sound that you wanted for your pipe? Or was it all just how it worked on the dyno? That was the key.
That was it. The first pipe we made that was a production style dyno pipe was on my bike, and we would make a pipe or make a change. I would ride it to work. I'd put it on the dyno at the end of the day. I'd run it. If it didn't work good, I'd take it home. Billy would get some beers and chop it up and try it again. And this pipe's hanging in the fab shop. We named it Rudy. Still there. It was about 6 or 7 versions of it until we got it to where it was supposed to be. And the sound wasn't really that important. We were just trying to make sure it ripped. That was it.
And by making it rip, I mean, you guys still have a service shop at your facility, right? You guys have your own dyno, and people can bring their bikes up there. I know guys have hauled them there from a long ways away just to have you guys tune them, correct?
Yeah. We have bikes come from all over the country for performance work. And a lot of people don't know that. We don't make it really public knowledge much. We do that to keep relevant on things that are going on in the industry. People's parts are being manufactured, what works with our stuff, what doesn't, shit like that.
All right. It's the top of the hour. I think we should probably break for another commercial. And then when we come back, if you've not looked at the comments on the sidebar,
Chip
we're about to pour the gas on the fire. We'll give Chip a break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about it, Chip. We're going to bring it up.
The Fueling name has been associated with racing and high-performance engines since 1974, when founder Jim Fueling started fueling the flames. From Daytona to Monaco, from the Bonneville Salt Flats to the Indy 500. Fueling is here to compete. Look for the Flying Pig to run up front this year with pilot Ben Bosman. Fueling. No bullshit, just performance.
Even the most traveled roads transform in the darkness. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
We're back.
All right, that probably wasn't my perfect timing on the commercial break, but I needed Jimmy to be able to breathe deep, and I need to make sure that we're gonna rip the Band-Aid off. Chip is over there talking about, let's discuss companies that steal other companies' ideas and designs for Instagram credit. Okay, that's a real thing. It happens all the time, and I can speak openly about it. I mean, how many people have made a flip windshield of whatever they want to call it, knockoff of the Flare windshield since we started this thing? I get it 100%. And one of the things that I think is so great about what you guys are doing, Jimmy, is that you did outlast everybody's product. You've outlasted everybody's anything. And now there's a million people trying to build the pipe that you're building. You made stainless raw pipes cool, and now everybody's trying to do it. Let's just start there. How do you deal with that? How do you feel about that? I mean, where do you go for that?
I don't know. Everybody knocking everybody's parts off things is a really happening thing right now. In this industry, I think it's because there's a lot of money in the industry. It's very popular. It's a really good, solid industry right now. The aftermarket industry, everybody's wanting to be involved, which is good, which is why it's the way it is. But everybody and their brother thinks they can just make something to make it. They don't make it to make it better. They just make it to make it. That's a bit of an issue. The exhaust, I don't know how many messages we get. There are people making our exhausts that are exactly the same can, same muffler end, same head pipe, same bracket, same everything. I've seen theirs. I've looked at them. They're not as good. So we just kind of keep making the shit as fast as we can. I know that's going to happen because the lead times are long. And when they are that long, I mean, people are going to go, well, fuck it, I can do it myself. Okay, well, making it's one thing, producing it is a different one,
But my friends who have gotten those pipes, and I've asked them about them, and I said, hey, what's the deal with this? And they're like, don't buy it. Yeah. Bracket doesn't line up. This doesn't fit. That doesn't fit. Yeah. And so while they're getting in a hurry to try to make what you make, they might be able to make one. They might have been able to make 10. They might have been able to make 100 to keep everybody happy. But consistency is the key to surviving in this industry. And even, a bunch of our friends who maybe built the cool choppers and were part of the Discovery Channel biker build-off era of 2006 to 2008 are now gone. And so, there's a lot to be said for customer service. There's a lot to be said for knowledge and what you're sharing with people. And there's just a lot to be said for consistency.
Yeah, that's part of it. I think that's with any product. It has to be, you have to be able to repeat it. Anybody can make one that's bitching. That's awesome. But can you keep making them?
Right.
And over and over and over again.
Yeah. I got to give it to you, Jimmy. You're being, you know what I mean, with some of the people that have been biting you as of recently. Like I said, one I wasn't even aware of until today. I got to give it to you. You're being pretty professional about it. So just keep on
I'm
keeping
trying
on.
to be
You know,
professional. You know, I was warned today. I was pretty hot today, and everybody's like, "You need to calm down." You know, I'm gonna take care of it face to face. That'll happen. But yeah, we'll keep it clean.
Yeah.
I love your approach to things. You know, if you have a problem with somebody, you just go talk to them face to face and say, okay, here's the deal. This is ridiculous, because it happens a lot. And with people being able to take a part over to China, get it knocked off, try to make something different. That's one thing. Your stuff is all made right here in the USA. You control it. You're doing this on Gasoline Alley in Indy. You're in the headquarters of high performance. I mean, all the major drag race teams, a lot of major race teams, period, IndyCar or otherwise, are located there, right?
Yeah. It's the racing capital. It's the real racing capital of the world. It's always been that way.
And I think it's such a big deal. I mean, I have one little piece of trivia that I need to knock off as we're talking about the copycats is when you build a bike for yourself, such as the FXR that you debuted in Daytona, or I don't even know where you debuted it. That's where I first got to actually see it. But you know, it's a chrome frame, it's polished everything, it's so much bling, and insane. Yet every one of these bikes has a little touch of purple on it. What's the trick? Why the purple?
Well, purple's my favorite color. I used it on all of my race cars back in the day, and I don't know, it's a good color. I think it's not used enough. And when we did the Purple Road King, I was it stuck out at Born Free, like it stuck out, like it was bad, you know, stuck out like a sore thumb. And I just thought that, you know, it was a cool color. No one was using it at the time. Now it's everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. We got to show people a bike. We got to show people that bike, because that bike was so ridiculous. And, you know, Chip and Mikey used our windshields down there, and you called and said, hey, do you have a windshield for a Road King? And I'm like, I do, but man, you build go fast, like bikes that are just raw and nasty. Like, I don't even know if you're going to be able to run our windshield on your bike. We make this billboard windshield for a Road King. It's only 6 inches tall. We only made so many dark smoke ones. And I said, I'll take a gamble. I'll let you run it. Oh my God. When I saw the picture that you sent me, this picture of this thing out on some side road in Indiana or wherever it's at, I was blown away, because for one, you work with Austin Poland. He's right near you, right? He painted that. Am I correct?
Yes. Yep.
And the colors are just unbelievable. I mean, that thing will rip your eyeballs out. And so you're coming from Indy and you're going out there and hanging out in Born Free and mixing it up with Chip and the gang. And that bike stood out. I mean, that thing broke the Instagram that year for sure. I'm sure Chip's gonna. Oh, it's also a solid part of the rainbow, which he loves more.
Yeah.
Man, he does not let up on you.
Chip? You know why Chip talks so much shit?
Why is that?
Do you know why? He talks shit because he can't go fast. That's it. All he's got is his mouth. That's it. All he's got is his mouth. He ain't got nothing else. That's it.
Nice.
Jimmy, with the purple trend, you definitely probably kicked that off. In fact, this year we did best purple bike at our show in March, because there was so many purple bikes. Mm-hmm. So that was definitely, you know what I mean, a trend that, you know what I mean, you definitely helped kick out. We talked about the fuel injection. We talked about the exhaust. Do you have anything else in the works that's going to be coming down the pike, I mean, product wise, that you want to discuss, or is everything still top secret over there?
Not really.
Okay.
No, not really. We're kind of just head down right now, trying to catch up. There's quite a few things changing in the way we're manufacturing some things, so we're kind of just head down working. We have a couple ideas for some new products, but at this point, you know, we're just we kind of sit and wait until there's a different throttle bite that comes out or something that changes that has to, we have to move to. So right now, we really need to get the exhaust thing lead time back. I mean, a couple of the models are back to reasonable lead times. The M8 stuff is just dominating the market, so that's the big challenge right now. That's pretty much, we're nothing really exciting. We're just working. That's it.
Cool. All right.
Well, Jimmy, I just appreciate you being on tonight.
Dude,
I don't know. I could sit here and talk to you for 2 hours, and Chris is going to pull the plug on me at some point.
Yeah. As we wrap this up, all I keep thinking about is what Jimmy's going to write in the comment section when we have Chip on.
Yeah, well, that needs to happen because I got some good ones, but we'll save them.
You got some good ones. We'll save them. We'll get them.
Yeah, Chip would be one of the most watched ones there is.
100%.
Well, Jimmy, thanks for being on tonight. And I got to tell you, you are silently one of the gentlemen of our industry, without a doubt. I feel like you and your family are bringing people things, information, and great products. You continue to push the performance envelope. And honestly, this whole game wouldn't be here if you wouldn't have jumped into the fuel injection, because now everybody does fuel injection. And the only way you can make them go fast is HPI. I mean, you have dominated fuel injection. You will continue to dominate fuel injection. Your love for this industry and your love for racing in general just makes me smile. And God bless purple motorcycles. My first FXR was purple. My SNS 50th anniversary bike I built for myself was purple. And yes, cat's out of the bag. My Chopper Friends Throwdown bike will be purple.
Perfect.
There you go.
So I guess I'm part of Chip's rainbow. Who knows?
He's in there too. He's in there.
Jimmy, we definitely appreciate you coming on. Like I said, I'll be ordering the throttle body probably this week, tomorrow or Monday for sure. So
I'm sure. Yeah, you're always on the list.
Right on. Well, we appreciate you, Jimmy. Thanks a lot for sharing with us. Let's take a look at the Drag Specialties dealer rep feature bike for this week. And it's not just based on Drag Specialties. He just happens to own it.
He just happens to work that. Hey, it's John with Hardcore Cycles. I got a Lowrider ST. We just finished up for Kerri, who works for Drag Specialties. So he kind of has like first dibs on a lot of the goodies. So we're just going to walk around this bike real quick, get the lowdown on it, and fire it up and see what she sounds like.
A lot of these parts come from Drag Specialties. Kind of the standouts are going to be the Saddlemen Seat, the Sony exhaust. Got some, obviously some thrash and supply stuff on there as well. Fueling vented dipstick, which is kind of a necessity on the M8 motors, to be honest with you. We did put a 472 fueling cam in with the HP Plus plate and pump, SNS tappet cuffs, and the quickie push rods. Got 113 horse and 133 foot-pounds of torque, so pretty good numbers. I wanted it to kind of stay a little conservative just because I do a lot of highway riding, so I wasn't looking for measuring numbers, just kind of wanted to just keep it turnkey and reliable. So thrash and risers, I did go with Big Al's bars, which are not sold by Drag, but they fit me pretty well. ODI grips, which we do sell. I was one of the last ones to grab a Power Vision before they got discontinued, unfortunately, so mounted that with an SDC mount. It's Legend suspension front and rear, Klockworks windshield, obviously. One thing I can note about the Klockworks windshield is not only does it help push some of the air up and over, but it also stabilizes the front end of the bike at high speed. This thing is very stable moving, but a little bit of stabilization never hurts any bike, especially in the front end. So nice little kind of added bonus there. These are cross thread levers, so nice and short, just for kind of quick stuff. I do have the SP Connect phone mount, real nice and tiny footprint, which I like a lot. Drag does sell those as well. Custom Dynamics turn signals.
What's not on here that we just got in is the Arlen Ness.
Arlen Ness front and rear rotors, and I also got a bracket from Arlen Ness, which allows you to do their 4 or 6 piston caliper on the rear, and I went for the 6 piston. So it's not installed yet. I've still got to pull the wheels off and get those put on this winter.
So we're back in the SHINE WERKS studios. We're getting all kinds of questions, and we have it. Chip and Mikey have committed. We'll have them in.
That.
You're going to get your chance to nail them back, Jimmy. It's official. And Nick, we appreciate the question. We are back.
Yep.
And every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, I know we went into a little bit of overtime tonight, but hey, it's my first shot at driving the ship, and Chris didn't pull the plug. That's a win.
We did all right. I mean,
so
not bad at all.
Yeah, so follow Horsepower Inc., follow Jimmy Light, watch what those guys are doing. Lots of great stuff. It really does based on performance. It is all about torque, and they are a tight-knit family group. Good bunch of people out there at Gasoline Alley in Indy.
Don't forget to hit Brian up for the new Dixon flannel, the one that he's modeling. You know what I mean? And Hardcore Cycles Inc. for all your performance parts.
Absolutely. We thank you guys for being here. We so appreciate it. We will see you next week here on Torque Performance. You want to ask comments to Satya, don't forget, put them in the comments.
Over there.
Listen, before you guys let go, I just want to thank both of you for taking the time to help put the show back together. In case anybody's wondering out there, why are we bringing the show back? Because this is kind of the other side of everything that we do with Shop Talk. Lots of stuff going on in the performance end of things now. You can see from the comments, a lot of guys really excited that we're bringing this back, and very, very honored to have both you gentlemen head this up, and we'll do our best to keep up with it. But you guys tell us what you want to see out here, and we'll do our best to bring it to you every week.
Yeah, products, bikes, whatever you guys want.
Yeah, and if you want to see somebody's product featured, if you want to talk about who we should interview next, obviously, Chip and Mikey, that was all you, Jimmy. Yeah. You get full credit for that. Anybody else, go ahead and put the questions over there. Put what you want in the comments. We are stoked to be back. Please share this on your channels and let your friends watch it. Let them see it, and let's stay in touch because we love nothing more than go fast performance here at Torque Mag.
Marty Norris is here with us, but David Crum says they don't even answer the questions. David, what did we miss?
He answered the question about what type of stainless steel, and we didn't get to it.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, so that's what happens is that they fill up, and as we try to address, sometimes the comments are just going.
Okay, I'll text Jimmy and he can comment on there.
Yeah.
All right.
I did see that one. I was trying to get to it.
All right. Well, cool, man. Apologize for missing that one, but we'll see.
Yep. Marty.
Motorcycle dragging, Howie Wright. I'm all about that. You tell us who the drag bike guys are you want to see. Let's get the list going. Point them in down there. If your friends are the fast guys, we want to talk to them because obviously Jimmy and Chip want in on it.
Oh, yeah.
Right on.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you, guys.
All right. See you.